What can you say to the voters of New Hampshire on this stage tonight who see your resume and like it, but are hesitating on the likability issue, where they seem to like Barack Obama more?
Well, that hurts my feelings. I don't think I'm that bad.
You're likable enough.
Thank
Hillary,
you so much.
Likeable enough. Has Hillary Clinton learned from her mistakes during the 2008 debates before she takes the stage tomorrow night? Let's talk to Lisa Booth. She's helped candidates prepare for debates. She's the Vice President of Political Polling and Public Affairs Research at WPA Research. Good morning to you.
Hi, Steve. Good morning.
Good morning. All right. The expectation is that Hillary Clinton, who's been trying to drive the Hillary Clinton campaign mobile down the middle, is going to veer significantly to the left tomorrow.
Right. Well, I think that is the expectation. I do see her doing that, particularly with someone like Bernie Sanders on the stage. And we've seen this shift in her political viewpoint, or this evolution on so many issues as of late. And I do think that the likability problem is one of Hillary Clinton's biggest problems. In some respects, her biggest problem is herself. This is, her lack of authenticity is something that David Axelrod has criticized, and even recently her own speechwriter.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. She had very intense debates with Barack Obama, but it seems so long ago, and now this opponent is so different. With Bernie Sanders, he's getting big crowds, but what is the reason for the big crowds, and how does Hillary make the most of this opportunity to stop his momentum?
Well, I think it goes back to the lack of authenticity. With someone like Bernie Sanders, he says, I'm a self-avowed socialist. So he owns the policies that he supports. And, we haven't seen as many evolutions with his policy viewpoints as we have with Hillary Clinton. So I think that there is a little bit more of trust with voters in Bernie Sanders, and they believe in what he's saying, whereas with someone like Hillary Clinton, she's flip-flopped so much that, voters are kind of trying to figure out what exactly does she truly believe.
Sure. Here's a little of Sanders back in 1998 when he was running for Congress. Kind of an interesting style thing.
When you talk about the fact that jobs are leaving the state, you just told us a few minutes ago that the economy is booming. And now you're telling us that the economy in the state of Vermont is not doing well for middle class and working families, and you're absolutely right. At least I fought to raise the minimum wage against your friend, Mr. Gingrich, so that people now have at least a minimum standard of living.
Your reaction? Pretty much stayed the same guy. He still doesn't have a comb.
Right. Exactly. But, I think there's been some criticism that Bernie Sanders can get a little bit angry during debates. So it'll certainly be interesting to see that dynamic between him and Hillary Clinton, and also, kind of see, does Bernie Sanders go for some swipes? Does he play it tough? Does he go after Hillary Clinton on things like her email scandal or the evolution on some of these viewpoints? So it's certainly going to be interesting to watch, and I think hopefully we'll learn a lot.
Well, I hope they do tangle a little bit. Lisa, I think that what people are going to come away with is they really love Clinton debating. Bill Clinton, Hillary, not so much.
Well, and exactly, and this goes back to that likability factor, and this is Hillary Clinton's biggest problem. 53% of Americans have an unfavorable viewpoint of her, and Bill Clinton really was, even if you disagree with his policies, he was so likable.
He sure was.
He came out of nowhere to win the nomination, and then, of course, to be the sitting president, thanks to Ross Perot. Lisa Booth, thanks so much.
Thank you so much.